guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to install a Android head unit into a 2009 Nissan Altima with the Bose system. The difference with the Bose system is that it has an amp and the Bose speakers, which requires the harness to be a little bit rewired. If you don't have that, if you have a base model, essentially this whole setup would just be a complete plug and play without any necessary rewiring. The amp does make it a little bit different, which is what we're going to be going over today. Now I'll bring you guys up close and show you guys what parts you need to get started. Alright guys, so this is the stuff that you need for the installation. The Android head unit and all of its accessories, of course. You'll need a bezel. This is for a 9-inch head unit, as well as it is made for the automatic climate control, which the Bose system comes with. So you got to get the right one. If you guys have a base model, you get the base model one. This is a harness adapter that came with this bezel here. So this is actually wired up for a base model because the speaker wires go directly to the speakers. While on a Bose system, the speaker wires actually go directly to the amp. So what we're gonna have to do is cut the speaker wires here and wire up some RCA wires. So it's kind of like wiring an aftermarket amplified sound system now. We're going to have to change up these wires so that it goes directly to an RCA wire. Now we have some splitters here because the Android head unit only has RCA outputs for left and right. So we'll need to split these so that we can activate all the front and rear speakers on both the left and right side, which is why we have some splitters here that split out the left output to 2 signals and the right output for 2 signals. And the last thing here, this is an extension cable for the microphone. I am going to be running the aftermarket microphone in the OEM spot, and this will be enough wiring to loop it from that top dome light area all the way down to where the deck is. So you will need some longer extension wire for that because the microphone doesn't come long enough. Now, I'll show you guys the microphone here. This is the microphone here. What I have done is I have 3D designed and printed a holder for it so that it can fit right in the OEM spot. So as you can see, it is a nice square box. That's how the OEM microphone is. Then I have the tabs here that click right in. So this will just hold in the OEM spot, and then I just have to run the wiring for it, and we would have a we'll be able to use the aftermarket microphone. Now with all this stuff complete, we're going to start directly on the wiring. I'll show you guys the head unit by just opening this up. This is kind of like an unboxing, I guess. So the stuff that comes with it is like some wiring harnesses, the GPS signal thingy. So we will have to rely on the manual to be able to wire all this up. And I think this is the backup camera as well. We won't need to use the backup camera because I already have one in the car, so I'll just rewire my backup camera to this head unit. But this is all the stuff that comes with it. Some brackets for the Android head unit, and of course the head unit itself, which is what it looks like right here. So this actually looks pretty good, and like I mentioned, this will just fit right into here. Now it didn't come with any screws, so I went through my bin for computer screws and I found some screws that actually fit. So this will be able to bolt up right onto that bezel there. So it's just some little computer screws that will fit. So now we're just going to go ahead and start setting up the wiring, and then once this is all set up, I'll show you guys the installation for inside the vehicle. Alright, so we'll start off with the easy one. This is the one with the RCA cables here that I was mentioning we have to split. So here's some audio out. These two, the audio left and audio right, like I said, they only have 2 of these cables here. And the rest of these are some other stuff like the microphone, subwoofer, video out. So I guess you could put it to other screens and stuff. So these are pretty much useless. So what is really completely necessary is just these 2. Like I said, we're going to have to split these and we'll use these to do it. So all we have to do is basically just plug like that and plug this one into here. And there, now we have all the speakers available to be plugged into. Now we need to wire up this harness here with RCA cable wiring, which is this. And then we also need to wire up the amp wire, because you need to wire this up to activate the amp to know when it turns on. Otherwise, you will still have no sound once you hook all this up. So we're gonna just wire up a pin to it. So I'm just gonna solder a pin to it so that I could just plug it into the right spot on this harness, because it's actually missing the pin for the amp. All right, now that we've wired up the amp wire here, as you can see, it's completely pinned in there already. We are going to start wiring up the RCA wires. So basically, right is red and left is silver. So I've separated it out with the harness that it came with here. So the front speakers are these four here. These four speakers are the front. These four speaker wires are the rear. So all I'm going to do is separate out the left and the right and wire them directly to the corresponding color code. So obviously red is positive and black is negative. So I'm just going to do that real quick, just cutting the wires, and then we're just going to wire it directly. All right, now the harness is all completely wired up, as you can see here. So the red is right and the silver is left. So these are all wired to the speaker wires now. Now what we have to do is plug them into these output here. So these were all split into either left or right. This one is the left, so we just plug the two lefts into here. And then the right, the two rights. And this will allow us to have both front and rear speakers now. All right, with the harness complete, all we have to do is just completely set up this head unit onto this bezel now. So what I'm going to do is just unscrew it and screw it into here. Now we can put in all the harnesses. This harness and the small harness will get plugged into up here. So this harness gets plugged right into here. Okay, that's plugged in. We've also got some antenna wire that we need to plug in as well right here. This antenna one will plug all the way to the side here. We'll hook up this antenna, which goes right over here. This screws in. All right, those are two USB ports. And then the camera. We'll have to figure out this later. But essentially, all that is plugged in. All we have to do is just plug this into the car. I think this is for the backup camera. There's one additional wire that says back on it. So it's for the reverse input. After we've got that set up, we should be good to go. It's just all plug and play now. So next step is just to put it into the car and we'll test it out. All right, now in order for us to remove the existing Bose system, we have to pop this off. So we got to stick basically a pry tool underneath here, and this vent will just pop off. And then there'll be a couple screws on top of here to remove the existing Bose system. As well, there's a panel under here that we could pop off, and there's screws under here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off some of this and I'll show you guys. So just like that, it pops off. So you really got to do it from the bottom here so that you don't pry up this area. And then you can easily just pull it with your hands and this whole assembly will just pop right off. As you can see, I didn't damage anything. Everything still looks good. Once I clip it back, it's going to look nice and flush. And right underneath there, you can see the two screws. Those are the two screws we have to remove from the top. And as you can see this panel here, all you gotta do is just have this thing open and you could pop it off from the back and it comes right out. So here are the two screws from the bottom. You just gotta remove those two and then the whole deck just comes right out. All right, this part's gonna be a little bit difficult to film and do at the same time, but essentially the deck is all loose now. All you do is just pull it from the top and the bottom and it should just come right out. So I'm just gonna do that real quick because I can't really hold the camera and do it at the same time. There you go, the whole piece is out. You just gotta gently yank at it and it'll come out. Now we just want to unplug everything from the back and then this piece will be able to be taken out. There you go, the old deck is out. It's just right here. So now we're going to take this apart. We're going to attach whatever we need to attach to the new bracket and then we'll install the new deck. Alright, so it looks like the stock deck, we need to remove these brackets and stuff. So these are all held in with some Torx screws as well as the climate control. So what I'm going to do is just get some Torx bits and just undo all this and then assemble it onto the Android unit. Alright, there you go. Everything is completely assembled now using the existing brackets from the Bose. What I did is I used the brackets that came with the Android unit and then I just added some screws on there. These were from the Bose, but then I needed some nuts on the back. So these are M5 nuts on the back that hold it in place. Now we could go ahead and put it into the car. Alright guys, the unit is working. I just have to basically rebolt everything back in. I did loop the wire for the microphone and all that already. So let's just test the sound. I did test it earlier, so it is working for surround sound completely. But we only have left and right. Yeah, as you can see, it's working. And I've also configured my steering wheel controls. But for some reason, the phone's buttons on the steering wheel doesn't work. So we do have full-on surround sound right now. And we're just watching one of my videos. I'm going to go ahead and play around with this a little bit more. It's just a lot of features. But that's basically the install, guys. It does work. I just have to plug, I guess, the climate control back and then just bolt everything back up. I did want to hook up the backup camera to this, but I'll do that on another day because right now my backup camera is hooked up to my mirror. So it's okay to keep it in the mirror right now. I just wanted it in this unit maybe at some point in time, but I'll just leave it for now. I'll just take everything apart and re-plug it in. It's just one cable wire anyways when I do figure out the backup camera piece. There you go, guys. It is all set up now. Everything is good, and I think it looks pretty nice and clean. And everything's working with the Bose amp. There you go, guys. That's how you install an Android head unit in a Nissan Altima with the existing Bose system. This will apply to, I guess, all Nissan and Infiniti vehicles of the same generation or older. The reason why you would do it this way is because if you were to plug in the harness that was set up for a non-Bose or non-amplified system, you would get basically no sound because the speakers run through the amplifier, and without the amplifier being on, the speakers aren't going to get any sound. And even if you do activate the amplifier, you're throwing amplified signal into an amplifier and then through the speaker. So you'll either get a lot of distortion or probably no sound at all. Anyways, I hope this method helps you guys out. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe, and share my videos. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.